Welcome to the show. The streets are buzzing. How's everybody doing? Salute to Knicks Nation. Salute to the chat. Salute replay gang. Out here, the streets are buzzing. On the Knicks streets, the Knicks went into the Windy City last night. Picked up a huge win on the road, 128 to 120. Lots to talk about. We're going to look at the road ahead. Recap last night's big win, and talk about the trade buzz, the latest news swirling. Let's get it, Knicks Nation. Ready to talk Knicks? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing? This crazy season goes to another gear, another level. The buzz increases. This time of year, officially, the unofficial trade period commences today, and lots to talk about, as always. How's everybody feeling? And last night's win, to recap, to sum that up, it was just an incredible gritty win on the road. A lot going against the Knicks, from, Jalen Brunson being questionable, early, in the day from the injury previously, and, a lot of questions whether he would be able to come and give a full effort. And boy, did he absolutely come out like a leader, all-star in the making for the New York Knicks, showed us what he could do. And he, again, put this team on his back. A lot of heroes to shout out. Salute Sharp Hours, salute. Let's get it. How we feeling? Yep. The streak right now is buzzing. Ladies and gents, smash that like button. Because, yeah, it's feeling good right now to be a Knicks fan. The Knicks young players are playing well, getting better with every game. The veterans are standing up. We'll talk about the ending of the game, of course, down the stretch, overtime, clutch, going back and forth, trading buckets. Julius Randle stood up. We'll talk about the last possession. I wasn't, obviously happy with that situation, along with many Knicks fans, but the Knicks pulled it out nonetheless, and we go again. We go again in the Windy City. We don't often get to see this in terms of an away home and home situation, right? A home and home traditionally is normally tough as it is. But to, if the Knicks can pull out this second one in Chicago, to me, that's going to be even more impressive. Even more impressive than how big that win was last night. To back it up again as well. What's good, Almighty Finesse? Jet Life. Salute. Salute. Knicks brethren, cash out. Let's go. Yep, 5 in a row. Let's go another 5 and talk about it. The East, another topic I want to talk about as well. The East, strong, but there were some teams showing us now their true colors. It's an 82 game season. It's a grind. A lot of teams that were overhyped, in my opinion, aren't built for 82 games, for a lot of success. The Miami Heat, getting older with Jimmy Butler. The Knicks showing that they're the real deal right now in comparison, right? We talked about the power rankings at the start of the season at length, right? And the disrespect that the Knicks got. Ultimately, I think it came down to, I don't think the media valued, or pundits around the league valued, the addition of Jalen Brunson just exactly for what it was, Yeah, people said it was a nice upgrade, and the Knicks finally got their point guard and whatever, and then people just swept it under the rug. But bottom line is, Jalen Brunson, is looking every bit the all-star right now, and we added that to a team that, with veterans showing, playing better, with Julius Randle at the top of that list, but also the young players taking a step up that, I accounted for, and a lot of educated Knicks fans accounted for young players stepping up. But people that don't watch this team every day, didn't take that seriously right now. If given the opportunity, they're stepping up. I'm talking about Quentin Grimes, of course, huge performance last night. Deuce McBride now surpassing Derrick Rose in the rotation as well. To think, we're a third into this season and we've seen, things that many Knicks fans wouldn't have believed would have happened. I'm talking Derrick Rose out of the rotation, Fournier, Cam Reddish getting in, looking good. Now all of a sudden he's out as well. Yep. Salute Shah, yeah, pushing grabbing the rebounds right now, hitting the free throws. That's a lot of keys to these 5 game streaks as well. The Knicks have got luck as well, and a bit of luck's involved with everything, but you've got to capitalize. If someone opens the door for you, you've got to walk through the door, and that's what the Knicks have been doing. Tom Thibodeau, salute to him. He's shaken things up a bit, to the difficulties of dealing with the locker rooms and situations. We heard quotes from Derrick Rose, being in a situation that he's probably never been in his entire life, his entire career right now. He's basically, in a nicer way, he's basically got the Kemba Walker treatment right now. There's no difference between that situation. Obviously, there's respect between Tom and Derek, but respectfully, I think his Knicks tenure has come to an end, right? And we're going to try to find him a new home. We'll talk about that tonight. We'll find Cam Reddish another home. Evan Fournier still being a pro, but situationals now. These guys are, well, not even situationals. They're basically DNPs on the good for now. iGamer, what's good? Based on standing and injuries, Knicks could end the season between 5 or 6 in this East, in the seed, standings. Yep, we'll talk about that. I predicted 45 wins, which, there's a lot of predictions I made that are on track. Not going to toot my horn at the moment, but yeah, a lot of the predictions I made were on track, 45 wins, but I said 8th seed. 45 wins could get you the 8th seed, but certainly 7, 6 is at play. I'm trying to keep a lid on things because, we've seen what we've seen over this quarter of this season. It's been an absolute roller coaster. I'm talking down in the dumps, fire this coach, to now everyone's riding high with the streets are buzzing. So, yeah, there's been a lot of ups and downs. I think that's what I've learnt the most over this first quarter of the season, is to try to keep a lid on things. But no doubt things are ready to pop off any second with more of these wins right now. And we'll bring up the standings where the Knicks sit right now. But there's, the only way is up for these Knicks right now. I feel like we've got Obi to come back. We've got more chemistry. Grimes, we haven't even seen close to the best of Quentin Grimes, right? And I've been saying Deuce McBride is only going to get stronger, more comfortable in his role right now. And that's been the big key to this success, really. Players knowing their role, everyone keeps saying, shortening the rotation. That is what it is, nine-man rotation now. But what that does is allows each player to play more and get familiarity with their role coming in. Deuce McBride was never going to come in and score for us, light it up. Jericho Sims getting a chance. But these guys are playing lockdown D, toughness, and playing to Tom Thibodeau's strengths. That was one of the most frustrating things early in the season struggles was I'm like, we have Tom Thibodeau here, but we weren't playing like a Tom Thibodeau coach team. But now we are. So that's been the most pleasing thing. Whether you want Thibs gone or you want him around, the bare minimum is we should be playing to his strengths, right? If he's a defensive-minded coach, we should be a defensive-minded team. And we were letting teams score 145 on us. OKC Thunder, one of the worst losses of the season, right? We should not be letting them score 145 on us at the Garden, with a Tom Thibodeau coach team. So yeah, that's what it is. Let's go. Let's shout out some of the chat. Salute Rich Boy. What's good? Jerry. Thibs just said to hell with it, right? Yeah, D first. Absolutely. With that. Now let me bring up the comments through the YouTube because I'm just getting not getting them come up through the back end, but I'll be shouting them out. So yeah, Jerry says, yeah, Thibs just said to the hell with it. D first, second, and third. Right, you sat $40 million with Cam, Rose, Fournier, and the fact that he sat D Rose like this shows that he's all in. Yeah. There was definitely some soul searching had fam as well. That's what I say when you lose, it ain't all bad. You learn from the experience. You learn from things. You get to watch film. You get the opportunity to see where you can improve right now. And maybe we needed to go through these hardships early in the season to get to where we are right now. Well, we did need to, really, to get to the Cam Reddish situation, D Rose and Fournier being out. to leaning on players with a certain skill set. Um, I kept saying at the start of the season, Knicks Nation, a big 15 right now. We needed to lean on, the skill sets of various players throughout the league, throughout the season, and no doubt we're doing that. We got Jericho Sims playing a role now with Obi out. I think that needs more attention right now. The obvious ones are Deuce McBride, Quentin Grimes, and they've been absolutely sensational, startling. They need all the flowers they can get right now for what they're doing. What are they, third year players? Second year players, I think. Third year players for Quentin Grimes. But yeah, Jericho Sims coming in, and he's been so consistent this season, playing defense, toughness, rebounding, all of that. And the big story is the drafting, ladies and gentlemen. E. Gibson, I see you. David, NYC Ball, '08, salute. Um, as well as the streak feels great, feels amazing. But the fact that who's playing and these players that were drafted, homegrown New York Knicks players right now, responsible for this surge. And of course, the free agent signing, Jalen Brunson, which has been the best free agent signing in memory, since Amari, pretty much. Carmelo Anthony was a trade, but yeah, Jalen Brunson, he has to be an all-star. If the Knicks are in fifth, sixth, seventh in the playoff standings, Jalen Brunson is looking like he's going to be that all-star right now. Playing tough, playing with injuries as well. Yeah, I'm feeling good with this team right now. Huge win last night. It was just absolute grit against all odds, I would say. The reffing, the officiating was horrible from, the overturned call. I think Randle did get fouled. Um, there was body contact with the legs, Julius fading away. For them to overturn that, what else is new? On the road, they got some home cooking, no doubt. And also the officiating with DeMar DeRozan getting superstar calls right now. The Knicks were facing everyone last night, and Quentin Grimes hit huge timely shots. Yeah, it's just beautiful to see his stroke fall. A little bit of luck, hitting the front of the rim, up and down. That had everyone out of their seat when that went down. That's the shooter's role, the shooter's touch. A la Allen Houston, H2O, stand up. Yeah, when Quentin Grimes, when that three ball bobbled and landed back in, I knew that it was our night. But then to add icing on the cake was Jalen Brunson's crossover in the corner. Alex Caruso need to find some new ankles with that. What a highlight play. Salute Hans. Um, yeah, Jericho Sims he'll get what's coming soon. Yeah, he needs all the shine he can get. And again, that just goes back to the drafting. How critical it was to find pieces that work out for you and that hit. We all know the Knoxes and Ntilikina's didn't work out. That hurt us. But what we've done in just two drafts is stock up the cupboards and with young talent with certain skill sets, right? So yeah, back to the identity. The Knicks are playing tough, and that's what has me most excited throughout the regular season. Right now, we found that identity, right? Deuce McBride getting tough, and Quentin Grimes, players that don't back down, and that was exactly what this team missed early in this season. Exactly what we needed, right? Cam Reddish has a great skill set, was helping us as well. I'm a Cam fan, but everything in life, it's situational right now. Cam needs to find the right situation for him to shine on a team that's willing to give him 25, 30 minutes a night right now. For this team, Quentin Grimes has shown that he's drafted homegrown, offensive, unselfish player, can play make, can shoot, and can defend the hell out of it, right, with the best of them. So unfortunately, he came in, took his spot. Deuce McBride's come in, taken Derrick Rose's spot, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? These players are hungry. They took their opportunities, and I'm happy for them, right? And these other pieces can go and help some other teams, right? So I really feel like we're found our groove with that. Everybody knows their role right now, and it was never about scoring for us. We needed that toughness, a balance to this Knicks roster, right? Between Julius, Barrett, and Brunson, there was a lot of players putting up shots, a lot of players that need to be on ball. And to supplement that, we needed players that don't need the ball, but were happy to do the dirty work, right? Get in passing lanes, pick up fouls, play hard, get in people's grill, stymie dribble penetration, right? We're no longer scrambling like I talked about with Bill Pedo the other day. The key to that, our defense was getting broken down straight away with dribble penetration, and that ain't happening anymore. Players don't need to scramble around. We're able to stay on the glass now and finish off possessions really strong. So let's keep this thing rolling, right? Go back to Chicago or stay in Chicago and pick up another win. Salute Sherwin as well. Only one All-Star on the Knicks, Randle. Yeah, we salute Julius Randle. He is the All-Star from 2 years ago. But look out, Jalen Brunson. He's coming. He's coming, fam, right? With that situation, right? Respect on his name. And real ballers knew. I talked about the signing of Brunson being, underrated around the league. But players that played against Brunson, they were giving him his flowers all off season. Davion Mitchell said he's one of the toughest player he's guarded, one of the craftiest players. Uh, I'm sure there was other guys. Their names elude me. I think it was De'Aaron Fox was giving him props as well. So I mean, he's shown it now. He's crafty. He's a great isolation player, scorer. For 6'1", crazy efficiency around the basket. Can shoot. But the biggest underrated skill set with Brunson is his toughness that he's showing right now. Pudge, Geraldine, salute. Um, Jalen Brunson's toughness as well. It's exactly what this team has been needing at the point, a true point guard for New York City. A guy with roots in New York, came here, understood the situation where, I can really go to the Knicks and help them. I mean, it wouldn't have been an easy call leaving Luka, with Dallas, giving them his offer, but he knew what he wanted. He wanted the spotlight of New York City, the shine, all of that, and he's delivering in spades right now. I love the pick and roll between him and Julius down the stretch. Obviously, the final possession of regulation, we already know what that is. That was Julius wanting to, you know, to let the world know, let the world know I'm still that guy. But, it was a poor possession. No doubt about it. It was a poor possession. But he was trying to make sure he took the final shot as well. With 24.7 seconds left, you absolutely want to be the team that takes that last shot. So I understand that. But I would have done it differently, of course. A screen, a pick could have come, and got a better shot than that. Move the ball a little bit towards the end. Um, but it is what it is. When overtime came, I wasn't worried at all. We've got guys now that knowing their role. The ball moved around. I salute to Julius. Um, while we acknowledge that folly, I also give him his flowers for a couple of critical plays in overtime as well, kicking the ball out when he was smothered. Double, triple teams. He found Quentin Grimes. He kicked it out. Mitchell Robinson, also a beast on the glass, tipping balls back out, keeping things alive as well. You know, as we talk about it later in the show, but the other teams in the East, namely being one of them Chicago Bulls, a bit overhyped. They went all in with Levine, DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic, Caruso, Lonzo injured, but the Knicks have got their measure last night. Absolutely showed that the Knicks have got Chicago's measure right now. They had everything going for them with refereeing, officiating was well and truly in their favor as well. That overturned call was rough as well, but the Knicks hung tough. They handled their business as well. And Quentin Grimes, yeah, you can't leave him wide open. That's just silly. Yep. Geraldine, salute. Jerry, in my opinion, Here is what happened. Folks were hitting 39% on Fournier from three, 42% on Cam, 45 on D Rose. Thibs saw that. IQ was only giving up 29%. Grimes 25 and McBride 22. It's the D. D in the OT was straight lockdown. Yep. Yep, absolutely, fam. Yep. Now, I must admit, I was questioning the schemes a bit. Like, do we have the personnel to get this scheme working like it was working 2 years ago? You know, it was a scheme that worked 2 years ago. Leave the shooters open, protect the paint, but close out hard. Contest the shots hard. And players are going to miss eventually. Players don't shoot 45, 50% from three all season long. If you close out hard, you're going to get misses and you're going to get stops. But like Jerry says, we had the personnel that, older legs, Fournier, D Rose, not unable to stay in front of dudes, simply put, as well. Now, out of the three, I think Cam Reddish is definitely the most deserving player to be playing right now. I don't think he did too much wrong. I just think his future up in the clouds, and the situation with Grimes getting back healthy being the preferred option, and the fact that Cam has value around the league and that his contract's expiring, and also he did have a few inconsistent performances recently. So, I mean, the writing's on the wall. It ain't perfect. You need to asset manage your roster as well. You can't keep everybody. You can't play everybody. So it's just a matter of circumstance right now. Yeah, I agree with Hans as well, saying Randle's stock is the highest it's ever been. Yep, absolutely. Um, yeah, I've seen some great comments online that Julius Randle's got his value up. That's what the Knicks' hope or goal should have been earlier this season. But also, you got to salute Julius. Still has his follies that creep up. Arguing. He got tossed, obviously, the other night. But for the most part, he's been head and shoulders better than last season. You know, and he's been way more between 2 years ago compared to last season as well. So that's just great for us. Um, Jalen Brunson knew what was going on in overtime. He took over, and that's really what I wanted to see for the most part. Allah Wise, peace, salute. What's good, Dirty Dancer? Pudge Nice. Jalen Brunson will be MIP. Man, I wouldn't put that past JB. He could keep going. Remember I kept saying Brunson could go to another gear right now. People didn't expect that. But what happens when you put the ball in a player's hand, give him higher usage? He's doing what Luka did with him being the Robin, last season, right? Yeah, and Randle absolutely could be in that All-Star picture again, right, fam? As we bring up the standings, let me just pop this up on the screen right now. There you see sixth seed right now, 2 games above 500 with this stretch coming up down in the corner below at Chicago, Indy, Golden State. The Knicks catch a break now. Chef Curry out for possibly a month with a torn labrum, shoulder injury. That's going to be pivotal in the West. It's going to be absolutely key. But no Chef Curry in MSG with that situation. So the Knicks catch a break again, but I'll take it. We just got to continue to run through the wall, whoever's in front of us. And Toronto's going to be a nice, tough matchup. And then Chicago again. I can't believe it. Right, we're going to be sick of Chicago by the end of this week, or a week or two, having seen them 3 times. But we heard great quotes from Mitch as well. Mitch today, talking to the media about his performance against Vucevic, getting those stops. And Mitch said, I done learned something. I done learned. So Mitch is feeling confident, shutting Vucevic down as well. Chicago are going to make adjustments, no doubt about it. I'm not taking them lightly in this next game. I've always said the home and homes are most tricky, but you got to feel good. We got to feel more confident now, having beaten them right now. So we're looking up now. Philly ahead of us, a couple games ahead, but Fifth seed is within reach, ladies and gentlemen. If we keep streaking like this, a 5-game win streak, look at this next 5. Very, very, very winnable as well. We take game at a time, right? But is this play sustainable? For me, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely is sustainable because we're winning with defense. We're winning with grittiness, toughness, things that are something that you can give each and every night. And of course, we have our closers now as well. Now let's talk about RJ Barrett's performances. He's been getting better of late. RJ Barrett was 22 points on 8 of 17. He hit 4 of 7 from 3-point land, both free throws, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, just 3 turnovers, and he of course fouled out with 6 personal fouls. But the officiating was suspect. They were getting the rub of the green, and RJ Barrett's offense has picked it up. His offense and defense has definitely picked up after this third part of the season now. Excellent performance. RJ Barrett's getting better. The Knicks in overtime absolutely shut Chicago down. 11 points to 3 points in the overtime, ladies and gentlemen. So we have Chicago's measure right now. And the pleasing thing is, like I said, grittiness, toughness. I think the bench with Emmanuel quickly taking on that bigger role, he loves it. 35 minutes, he was 4 of 10, 4 assists from IQ. I love that. 4 steals from IQ. I love that even more. And plus 6, 9 points. Emmanuel Quickly's name on the trade block right now. I don't really know how serious it is. I like to hope that IQ sticks around right now with his recent play. But one thing's for sure is that IQ's value is going to be way up now. Teams around the league seeing what's up with IQ. He's a huge piece for any team right now, right? I wouldn't part with him unless you're getting a good first round selection, maybe unprotected, and another young player as well. I mean, we hit with that pick. What's the need to move on from IQ as well? So the most likely guys are Fournier, Rose, and Cam Reddish. Of course, the Lakers look likely. The Knicks engaged with the Houston Rockets early before the deadline commenced to see if we could get Eric Gordon. So where is this going to lead? I feel like the Knicks are definitely looking for win now players. Maybe a picks for the future, but also players, a role player that can help us this season as well. As evident by talks with Houston, talking to them about Eric Gordon as well. He's been a player the Knicks have fancied for a couple of years now. We've heard his name around the block. Geraldine, one thing for sure, JB has that it factor and a pit bull that we needed, right? Absolutely facts. Yep. Dirty says Brunson's numbers are already better. Yep. Definitely, fam. And he's locked up. He's the Knicks starting point guard for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Possibly. We haven't had that stability in a minute. I've been thinking about that recently, and Jalen Brunson's age is perfect for this team as he hasn't hit his prime yet. He hasn't even hit his prime. Yep. He's been great, Jerry. Absolutely. E. Gibson says, I don't think JB even cares about accolades or making the All-Star game. That's a great point. I love the signing, but Randle, in my opinion, is our All-Star if he continues his play. Yep. Great complementary pieces. And in fact, I've said this recently as well. Salute for the love of the game. Worldwide L, salute. Hard Will, salute. But yeah, I've said with Jalen Brunson, I think it's about, and Randle, I think they're both basically two A's on a team. Either one could be a Robin to somebody's Batman, I think. Together they're helping us, be a playoff team. But realistically, they could both be probably a 2A kind of player. And Brunson was that 2A to Luka, Western Conference finalists. Julius Randle led us to the 4th seed with Derrick Rose. But ideally, they need to move back into a 2A role. Yeah, and we need to find that Batman as well for this team to go to that next level as well. But to me, I've got them even Julius Randle commands a double team, so he's a kind of a different player. But he's got to be a willing passer, like he did in overtime as well. Some of those boneheaded plays where he does try to take on the double. Um, the moment the double comes, Julius Randle has done his job. Just move the rock to someone else, and your teammate is in a position to score as well. So that we've got to drum that into Julius. He kind of failed in the Atlanta playoff series because he wasn't quick enough to move the ball. But Julius Randle is a beast. He commands a double team. He's got to kick it out. He's got to move it, and that's what won us in overtime, right? Quentin Grimes was wide open, able to hit those shots. Yep, Pudge. I hope IQ's not headed to Houston. But yeah, Eric Gordon is a piece that Tom Thibodeau loves. His boys with Chi-Town's finest, D Rose as well. Eric Gordon is a name I think the Knicks are gonna go after, but there was talk they were trying to get that deal done before the extension period or something like that as well, to be able to trade him or trade other pieces later as well. Jerry says IQ trade talk fake news. Said Knicks wanted to move him for a pick. We have draft picks coming out of our ears right now. Hmm. Yep. I think it's more teams calling the Knicks, to be honest, Sam. Yep. That's where it leaked out a lot more. Teams calling the Knicks, trying to see if they could pry him away. Thinking that we wouldn't value his future role and things like that. But you're right. We've got so many picks. It just does not make sense to move IQ now. The role he's playing is a big role for this team. He's the main guard, lead guard off the bench, and a guy we rely on to score as well. So his playmaking, his defense has gone to another level. I knew that I sort of saw signs that IQ could be an elite defender a year ago when he put on that extra muscle, the size as well that we talked about. That helps out a lot. He's got a wide shoulder. He's got wide frame. Does IQ? He's a great body type to be a great on-ball defender. 6'3", long arms, can move sideways as well. Stay in front of his man as well with his hands out, kind of thing. Basic principles as well. And we've got to credit Tom and the coaching staff as well, because we can't just praise the players in terms of growing. No doubt they've been working with IQ to help him become a better defender as well. And with that said, also talk about Jalen Brunson, because Tom Thibodeau, one of his biggest goals was to make Jalen Brunson a better defender as well. Now, he's never going to be no lockdown point guard defender at point of attack, but to make Jalen Brunson a serviceable defender with the way he plays on offense, yeah, that's what leads to an all-star kind of play, two-way guy, and just don't get beat. Just don't get beat off the dribble, And we're seeing this defense, which needs another shout out. We are the second best defense in the NBA, ladies and gentlemen, over the last 10 games. So, I mean, that's got everyone buzzing. That's where it's at. That's Tom Thibodeau to a T. The last 10 games, the Knicks have the second best defensive rating in the NBA. So it's becoming a bigger sample size now. 10 games, it's a bigger sample size. If you want to go after the last 4 or 5 games, the Knicks are the best defense in the league with that situation. So it's been absolute startling with that move. And it was a move he probably had up his sleeve. They know what Deuce McBride and Quentin Grimes' strengths were. This front office does know its personnel. Quentin Grimes was kept out of all trade negotiations with Danny Ainge, for a reason. And people who scoffed at that, well, they're looking at it now, and now they know. If you know now, you know. If you don't know now they know. So Quentin Grimes, that's why the Utah Jazz wanted Quentin Grimes as well. He had amazing skill set coming in, before he hit Kansas. Then he went to the University of Houston. Ralph Sampson, repaired his game, and he stayed locked in. Did Quentin Grimes, stayed strong, knew where he's at, and knew his skill set. But an underrated part of his game is playmaking right now. He just has a great court vision, a great feel for the game, a willing passer as well. The offense is going to get there. Right now, he's just catch and shoot as well. But he did flash some moves in Summer League. You know, that dribble drive, step back move, he flashed that in Summer League. So Quentin Grimes got more in his bag. I can't wait to see it, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Dirty Dancer says RJ looks so much more balanced on his threes lately. Yep. I salute that. Good observation. Um, I think he's made a few tweaks. You know, where it is he got with Drew Hanlon, and made a few tweaks with that, like you do when things ain't falling for you as well. You go back to the well, you put in that work as well. So that's been a huge key as well. Um, I knew the offense is going to come for RJ. For me personally, the most disappointing thing for RJ this season was his defense. Right, he was just giving up on defense. He was atrocious. He was awful defensively, and that's just not what I had expected from a 6'7" wing. That with his size, you know, that had me depressed early this season. I thought RJ can't be this kind of defender. He's got to be better than that, and that's starting to come along. You know, he is slower on his foot, but he is giving that more effort as well, which is helping. Um, Pudge 4 to 6 seed for the rest of the year. If we do add more help, another scorer to help Randle and JB. Yep, another clutch guy. Maybe Obi coming in gives that bench more scoring. That'll help as well. You know, it's kind of very, very interesting with Jericho Sims' fit defensively versus Obi's fit offensively. Chat, Nick Streets, give me your thoughts on that situation that could play out. You know, we got to feel like Obi Toppin's part of this rotation. So give me your thoughts on Jericho Sims, what he's giving us, and what you think Obi Toppin's going to give us outside of him as well. But yeah, Trini's on point. Brunson's hungry. He's hungry to win that chip. Western Conference finalist last season. Yep, got paid the bag as well. We're going to give Mitchell Robinson his shout out as well, ladies and gentlemen. When he's healthy, he's a difference maker and some. 36 minutes, was 4 of 8. 10 rebounds, 6 of them offensively. The best offensive rebounder in the game, no doubts about it. 1 assist, 2 blocks, set +7, 8 points. Mitchell Robinson's keeping balls alive. I mean, in an 8-point game, Mitchell Robinson 6 offensive rebounds, maybe 8 to 10 points, a couple of extra threes from those offensive rebounds helped us as well. So that's the ball game right there. Doesn't show up on the stat sheet a lot, doesn't look sexy, but that's what you can appreciate. You know, people that know basketball can appreciate that, keeping points alive, making his teammates better. Mitchell Robinson stand up. You know, it's important to finish possessions out as well. You know, when the Knicks get stopped, sometimes they don't get the defensive rebound, and that hurts us as well. So Mitch being on the block helps us a lot. He's healthy now, difference maker, $15 million, what he's earning. I never count a man's pocket, but he's earning every bit. He's earning every bit of that, is Mitchell Robinson. With that said, yep. Yeah, Dirty, we found that defensive identity, the We Here squad, but it's like that We Here squad, but souped up with better offense as well. I made that comparison with Bill Pedo. You swap Alfred Payton with Deuce McBride. You swap Reggie Bullock out with Quentin Grimes, basically, from 2 years ago. But we have Jalen Brunson, who's a better, you know, way better offensive player than what we had back then as well. And to think we're not even finding a need for Evan Fournier or Cam Reddish or Derrick Rose. That just speaks to the level of play that these other players have picked it up. Yep. Jerry, the first player this year that has changed my mind, my opinion, is Mitch as well. Hey, shout out, salute. Yep. Players earning respect. Yep. Admiration from fans as well. Yep. The way they leave it out there. Salute Duras. Salute. What's good? Yep. Emerson. What's good? Bucks getting destroyed by the Grizzlies. Yeah, the Bucks are interesting. They're definitely missing Middleton, and it's going to be tough for them. The Celtics look great. Um, the biggest unknowns are Philly and Brooklyn. You know, can they stay healthy? How much can Embiid carry them as well? I like our squad right now, the way we're sharing responsibilities as well. Like I said, players know their role, and only good things happen when teams buy in and each player knows their role. Like I said, Deuce McBride, when he comes in, he's not going to hijack the offense. He knows what he needs to do. You know, get the ball moving, set a few screens, get out on the break, defend. You know, Quentin Grimes knows where he needs to be now. Let RJ, Julius, and Brunson take care of business on offense as well. They're going to get all the shots that they need. The other guys play their role, lock down, get steals, make it hard for the other player, other team as well. You know, we're Tom Thibodeau team to a T right now in 9-man rotation, grittiness, toughness as well. Now, the biggest thing that could derail what's happening right now is injuries. You know, 9-man rotation, it does get tough. You know, it's a grind, and we do need to lean on some players on different nights. I don't think that's going to change. We still need depth. Um, Obi's going to be out for about another month. Jericho, Hartenstein, we got lucky we got solid depth with the big men. Svi Mikhailuk could get a look at some point. You know what I mean? IQ's getting big minutes right now. Brunson's banged up. So, you know, it's going to get to a point where, yeah, some of these guys may need a rest, right? And it's next man up. E says Grimes inserted to the starting unit has really helped our Achilles heel, which was the perimeter D. Yep, absolutely, yep. He's top of the list, I would say. Deuce McBride, for the same reasons. But, yeah, E. Gibson, absolutely on point. Quentin Grimes is that it factor, yeah, for this team. Drafted, um, was injured early in this season for a big part. And that's what had me frustrated because we never got to see what this team could really look like right up until now. You know, he's got healthy and he's playing amazing defense, but he's also the shot starting to fall now, which is bad news for the rest of the league right now. Yep. Jerry, it wasn't no illusion from last night's OT win. It was just grittiness, it was toughness, it was New York Knicks basketball. That's what we need, but with better offense, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Now, you know, going back to Randle, you know, and his renaissance this season, we all know his weakness still. It's shot selection. Julius can be that all-star again and again and again. Um, it's all about shot selection. Now, he does tend to want to take those hero shots, you know, very difficult shots as well. That's going to happen from time to time. We can't eliminate that. But what I want to see is Randle being just more, um, you know, just closing that down a little bit, cleaning it up, you know, and moving the ball when he's in traffic as well. The two-man game with Brunson was just beautiful, getting the mismatch, you know, post up on Caruso. That was working to a T, you know, and they kept going to it as well. So in terms of offensive structure, this team is looking a lot more structured with Jalen Brunson calling the shots, you know, knowing where to get his teammates, you know, and putting them in a position to succeed. Right there. That's point guard play. So that's been perfect on offense. You know, we talk about the Knicks needing to pull out these clutch, you know, down to the wire victories. You need to be you're maximizing your possessions, you know, down the stretch. The Knicks 11 points to 3 points in overtime was key. Of course, a couple of second chance points from Grimes threes helped out a lot. But the steady hand of Jalen Brunson is what we need down the stretch to win all of these games. And he was that coach on the floor, you know, getting Julius in the spot as well. Uh, you know, there was times when they were forcing it a little too much as well. So we got to be careful. We don't want to get, you know, down to bogging down the offense too much. But Julius, it's kind of difficult because he is that player that commands a double as well. So we basically live and die with Julius on some nights. and his decision making is critical to the team pulling out the win. But I really trust Jalen Brunson to make the call. Sometimes if we're forcing it too much with Randle, I know Jalen Brunson's gonna check him, and he's gonna go in a different direction sometimes as well. So that's gonna be key. Jerry, Nick's gonna be 5 back of the second seed after tonight's Bucks loss. Well, that's crazy to think right now. Yep. Sherwin says, have you seen the photo with Obi standing next to Randle? I haven't seen that. Man, let me know what I'm looking at with that situation. You're not a fan of Obi. We know your thoughts, Sherwin, with that. Um, in terms of saying the Knicks are a better team without Obi, um, it's a tough statement to make. I don't know. I can't say the Knicks are better without Obi. I think we're playing to our strengths right now, which is defense, which is winning us games. Jericho Sims is a better defender than Obi as well. Salute JT, Trini. I've made that point before about we all know Jericho Sims is a better defender than Obi, no doubt about it. So that's helping us win ball games. But offensively, we're going to need Obi's punch off the bench as well sometimes. My biggest worry is what's going to happen on a night where IQ hasn't got it going. Deuce McBride, Sims, and Hartenstein off the bench. That's that's not a whole lot of offense. You're going to need to play RJ and Randle or Grimes with the bench unit a lot. And that's where I get back to, ladies and gentlemen, with an 82 game season, our biggest Achilles right now could be wearing these guys out. For as much as we love a Tom Thibodeau grinded out, gritty, tough team that lays it out there every night, to win ball games for 82 games that way is very taxing. Ladies and gents, it's taxing right now. If you think Jalen Brunson can continue this beating each and every night, doing what he's doing for the next, 55 games, it's going to be tough as well. We're going to need to give him a rest as well. And that's where I want Deuce to step up, give him a bigger role, leading it. If we trade Rose, maybe we need a guy like another situational point guard like Kendrick Nunn, Patrick Beverly kind of thing. That's where I'm looking at. If the Knicks are trying to do this trade with LA, it's because they realize, okay, we might need to get Fournier's salary off. Maybe we can get a pick, and maybe we need just a situational veteran like Kendrick or like Pat, to get in people, play gritty D for 12 minutes a night, and give us 3 fouls, kind of thing. Because I'm worried about Brunson long term in terms of grinding it out as well. Julius is built for it. Julius Randle, Bill Peter made a great point when I talked to him the other day. Randle gives it all, he lays it all out there and he plays. So Randle doesn't take nights off, which is great. He's strong, he plays banged up. Jalen Brunson plays banged up as well, but he's been taking an absolute beating, and I mean beating. Players falling on top of him, fouling him, all of that dirty stuff as well. So, Grimes handling a little bit of point. I think we're going to see that at some point this season. Quentin Grimes playing some backup point. Let's say if Brunson wasn't able to go, the question was who was going to fill in. So what I would do is I would put Quickly into the starting unit. He's deserved it. I don't think you can slight Quickly like that. You put him in the starting unit and you let McBride or Grimes run point off the bench. And you stagger RJ's minutes with the bench unit as well. And you let Barrett run some offense off the bench. That's what I would do as well. Yep, Obi is shorter than Randle. Sherwin. Yeah, we're currently holding down the 6th seed. Salute Hewlett. Travel vibes in the house. What's good? Yeah, JT says, CT, don't even bother. Obi can score 60 in 10 games straight, resulting in wins. Yeah, and some of the haters wouldn't give him any credit. Yeah, you're on point with that. Yep. Yeah, just some people just look at Obi's flaws more than what he brings as well. There are some Knicks beat writers as well that aren't, the biggest fan of Obi's game either. They think it's more flash. For me, you need a bit of, like I said, we need a balanced roster. We have a Deuce McBride and Grimes and quickly that defend off the bench. They give you all the D that you need. So we need an Obi to put up points. Um, he he just doesn't need to be a liability defensively. That's all. Not every player is going to be locked down. Not every player is going to be strong defensively, and that's why you have teammates that balance it out right now. That's why the Knicks are winning. We have the right ingredients now to make gumbo, to make this meal right now with different ingredients. Like I said, Brunson, Randle, and RJ have all the shots. They take control of the offense, and everyone else rebounds, defends, and moves the rock as well. So we've found the right groove. We need to stick to it right now, but we need to trust our depth as well. Obi, it's tough. I think he's going to be out for probably 4 more weeks, 3 to 4 more weeks. I don't think they're going to want to rush him back as well. Johnny Davis, salute as well. We tend to look at the offensive players in trades, but defensive players you see are available. Great question, fam. Well, Eric Gordon is a player that I think the Knicks really want because of his two-way play. Yep, good size, veteran, can stroke it, can defend. Kendrick Nunn, Patrick Beverley, I think can be underrated on both sides as well. Um, Obviously, some bigger names. Let's see, there's small noise, but it's getting louder that the Toronto Raptors might want to blow things up at some point, ladies and gentlemen. OG Anunoby be had with that situation? Dallas are in desperate need of help right now. I talked about Dorian Finney-Smith the other day. He's a player that can defend the hell out of it, you know. And the Knicks and Dallas are no stranger to doing deals as well. So there are a couple of names. Let's see what else comes, you know. But to be honest, Nick Streets fam, I feel like more teams are going to be sellers than buyers right now. People are being real about this season and how difficult it is, and they're looking at the draft right now. And I think teams are going to start to go south soon, like Toronto. Masai Ujiri is a big believer in the draft right now. He knows the Toronto Raptors ain't it as well. So if I had to give you a prediction right now, I think Toronto go the other way and they blow it up. Yep. Maybe not straight away, but at some point closer to the deadline, I think Toronto blow it up, fam. Fred VanVleet's not doing well right now. Atlanta need help right now. Miami, Pat Riley always wants to win, but they need to be real. What can Miami sell off? They're absolutely desperate to get out of Kyle Lowry right now. No one wants that salary right now. Chicago, the teams we're playing right now, they need to be real with themselves as well. They need to trade DeMar DeRozan to LA for a couple of first-round picks. If I'm keeping it real, if I'm Chicago as well, they need to recoup those assets that they got out of as well. But yeah, great point, Johnny, as well. If we're going to stick to this defensive mindset, we do need to continue to look that way as well. I think we have enough offense. Like I said, Obi coming back is going to give that bench more offense as well. We do need to keep Quick as well. Quickly is a huge part of this season as well. Yeah, the only way I'd be absolutely shocked if we trade Quick is if the offer is too good to be true, too good to refuse, or they're looking beyond this season, which I don't think is possible. I think they're all in, they're strapped in for this season. It makes 0 sense to trade IQ right now if you're trying to go all in this season, because he's helping you win right now. So any trade for IQ would either be the offer's too good to refuse, or they're looking beyond this season and they're looking for a future asset, which doesn't make sense to me, because like the chat's been saying, we have all the picks we need, and we also are trying to win this season. It looks like, they've already made their call. Yeah, Jerry likes that. Cam for Finney-Smith, D Rose for Beverly. Absolutely facts, right? Jay Boog in the house. Salute, salute, salute. Back on Christmas just dropped. fam. We buzzing out here. Check out that video as well. I'll put it in the comment section as well. We back on Christmas. J Boog done the remix of that with Cully, Papa Left. Salute you guys as well, Knicks Nation. You're holding us down with this amazing content as well. Many blessings, and yeah, I hope it's an amazing holiday season, Christmas for everyone as well. It's a great time of year. The Knicks are buzzing. The streets are buzzing. Smash the like button. And we're seeing good quality Knicks basketball right now, and we can only get better right now. Playing with young players, playing with unselfishness, moving the rock as well. It's been a very interesting turnaround, to say the least, from that Dallas game. You know, when we did the post game with EJ, and I was lost for words, really. Didn't really know where to go to from here, other than the draft. You know, I was about to just drop a draft show after that and say this is the only way. But now, yeah, it's interesting. I still like to build through the draft. That is my preferred way. No way about it. But we have good young talent now. That's made me happy to see them get minutes. You know, happy to see them win us ball games. You can't be mad at that. You know, you can't be upset with Knicks young players helping you win. If anything, playing these veterans probably would help us lose more games, which is kind of sounds disrespectful to guys like Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier, but it's the truth. You know, it is the truth. We would be losing more games playing those guys right now, and that just speaks to the skill sets of these young players as well. Sims, McBride, Grimes, we already know. Coaching staff also got to give them their flowers. They've turned things around. They made the hard calls, you know, hard decisions. They looked at things after the Dallas game and like, you know, man, it was a big sample size losing games the way they were losing. You know, the big capitulations against OKC, against Dallas, Cleveland. There's too many to name. I forget. Brooklyn as well. Compare that team to where we're at right now, and it's completely it's a 360 transformation right now. Obviously, things have to happen along the way for this to happen. What we're seeing right now, Obi Toppin going down, Sims getting opportunities, Derrick Rose, being a shell of himself, has opened the door for Deuce. But Deuce is ready now. You know, he's been in the system for 2 years, playing G League minutes. Came into the league with a ready-made skill set already, which was defending, and he's just got better at that as well. We just need Deuce's offense to get a little bit better with the shooting, hitting shots, catch and shoot, mid-range, step back as well. Quickly can improve with the mid-range too, but I like Quickly's defense playmaking right now off the bench. Yeah, with that said, so yeah, we looked at the standings, ladies and gentlemen. The question I want to ask for this show was some of the East overhyped? And the answer to that is right now, yes. We said that. I said that in preseason that the Miami Heat, the Toronto Raptors, and the Chicago Bulls would not be as good as people think they were, or the power rankings from NBA.com and ESPN.com had those teams, you know, from 4, 5, 6, 7 right now. And of course, because of Indy's, you know, rise, the New York Knicks as well, that's pushed those teams down as well. So they ain't all that right now. Just like last year when the Knicks came off the 4th seed, everyone expected the Knicks to stay, you know, about the same with that situation or improve with Kemba Walker and that. But truth is, it's just paper talk right now. We're seeing the fits, and in the Heat are struggling. They're going to make a huge decision right now on what they're going to do with that situation. Kyle Lowry has not worked out for them. They paid him a ton of money as well. Thankfully, it's expiring, I think, for them. But yeah, Jimmy Butler can't carry that team by himself right now. They need offensive help with that situation. The biggest surprise to me has probably been ATL, if I'm keeping it real. They started really well, now in 9th seed. Now, of course, they're bunched up. You know, it ain't a huge difference. It could swing within a week, but they're not as good as people thought they would. You know, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, that's like a top 5 backcourt in the East, but they're struggling right now. They don't have that same defensive identity that they did. John Collins is, he's got to be disgruntled. In Toronto, they're struggling with the draft, with the point guard play. Fred Van Vliet struggling with that. So yeah, that's my thoughts with the overhyped East. Give us your thoughts. With that, Jerry says if IQ and RJ get their percentages up, watch out. You hit. With that, Jerry, you hit. Let's give that a shout out because yeah, that's huge right now. That's huge. Yep. Their defense is picked up, but yeah, look out for the offense, for that to continue. I think everything we're doing offensively is sustainable. We're not seeing any sort of crazy percentages right now. I mean, Julius has upped his percentages a bit, better shot selection. But yeah, I think Quentin Grimes' 3-point percentage can go even better. Quickly's getting better with the percentage as well. Yeah, I think Deuce McBride could shoot a better percentage as well. We're going to need some more offense off the bench. I think Tom should stagger the minutes between the starters and the bench a little bit more when we need more offense as well. With that said, so now let's talk about some of the trades we can really keep an eye on. To me, the tricky situation is hard to foresee with Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is expiring. He's earning quite a sizable salary. But I think a team like Dallas and the Lakers make the most sense. Ladies and gents, for D Rose, what are your thoughts with that situation? I really feel like those teams are going to need a guy like D Rose helping them off the bench and the minutes he could give them. Um, in terms of that, the thing that makes sense with LA is probably a Pat Bev and also Kendrick Nunn because they're expiring, ladies and gentlemen, as well. That's the key. The Knicks don't want to take on more long-term salary to move any of these guys. It doesn't make much sense. If we can get a draft pick out of it, if we can give them Cam Reddish and Derrick Rose, or Evan Fournier even, take back the salaries of those guys that are expiring as well. That's good for us because they expire. Evan Fournier's got one more year of salary as well. So to get out of that means we'll have more cap space earlier. Now, if there's any talk, I want to clarify this, is there any talk of the Knicks having to attach any assets to move for any of these players? It's an absolute no for me, right? That's just ridiculous, right? I'd hang up the phone because Derrick Rose is expiring, Cam Reddish is expiring, Evan Fournier is going to be expiring next year, and it's going to be a weapon in terms of an expiring contract. So the Knicks do not need to attach any asset. Don't listen to any ridiculous, delusional Laker fan or anything like that that thinks that just because the Knicks are dangling these players, thinking that they need to attach something, that's absolutely ridiculous, that notion right now. The Knicks are only trading these players really to do them a solid. They could be situational for the rest of the season. It's not going to hurt us at all. We could probably do with Derrick Rose's play at some point, if a guy goes down. So, yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. The Knicks don't need to trade at any asset. If anything, we need assets back because these pieces could help other teams, right? I mean, we're not the desperate one, ladies and gentlemen. We're in 6th seed right now looking up. Where are the Lakers at? Where are the Dallas Mavericks at? Say what right now as well. So they're the delusional ones. And in terms of the Knicks, we have pieces that could help other teams. And Leon Rose's phone is going to be running hot absolutely right now with these kind of veterans. The league knows what Derrick Rose can bring. The league's seen what Cam Reddish can bring. Now, the league knows what Evan Fournier brings right now. They bring a skill set and they're going to help other teams. So I look forward to hearing what shakes out. And if I had to guess, I think all three of them are gone. Yep. I think all three of them are out of here with that situation in a maybe two multi-team trades as well. And I think the Knicks could get back a couple of those veterans, like I said, that expire, that help, and maybe a couple of second round picks and a couple of future picks possibly as well. Um, the guy that's probably the least likely to be traded is probably Evan Fournier because of the salary. I think Cam Reddish and Derrick Rose, the fact that they're expiring, they're an easy move for any team. You know, they're an absolute no risk, no brainer for any team because you take that flyer on them for this season only, and then they come off the books. So yeah, that's my thoughts with the trade situations going down. If we could just add some more depth, nothing that's going to shake things up too much, but also give us some maybe future draft compensation as well. So looking at the road ahead now, as the Knicks embark on this 5-game win streak, one more game in the Windy City, and I think the Knicks pull it out. Of course, let's keep this streak rolling, baby, as well. Then we at Indy, which is probably going to be the toughest out of all of these games, if I'm keeping it real. The Knicks can struggle at Indy as well. They're going to be up for that as well, especially if the Knicks are on that 6-game win streak. Indy's going to be wanting to, to put that to sleep right now. So the Knicks have got to keep a lid on things, continue to play tough, gritty defense as well, and I think we can take care of that. It's going to be tough. We have Golden State come into the Garden for a 3-game homestand, then Toronto, and then Chicago again. So, I mean, I'd love to sit here and say the Knicks hit that 10-game win streak, but it's going to be tough to keep seeing this Chicago team. It's going to be motivated. Indiana's going to be motivated as well. Golden State are tough, even without Chef Curry. So let's see. Let's take it game at a time right now. But the Knicks can't look past this game tomorrow, in the second leg in the Windy City, because they're going to want to, make up for that tough OT loss. So the Knicks need to come out of the gate tough as well, strong. The good thing is JB's had a day off to rest, and the Knicks can watch some film on Chicago as well. And there are some things we can clean up, and do better than what we did. With that, give us your thoughts, ladies and gents, in the chat, and we keep this thing rolling. Salute to Knicks Nation. The streets are buzzing. Jerry says, I just think the top 10 will now be the top 10 in the end, just playing for seeding. Yep, good points. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Surprising as it is, yeah, you kind of see what these teams are, fam, with a third of the season gone. But yeah, no doubt some big trades could shake things up, and I think Atlanta has got to be the most desperate out of anybody. I mean, let's keep it a buck. You gave up 2 unprotected picks for DeJounte Murray and a pick swap, a third pick, which was a pick swap, and then also other things as well. I mean, that's pretty much an all-in move. I mean, the Knicks were son for not making that move for DeJounte Murray. Where are those people right now? Because Trae Young and DeJounte Murray does not have ATL better than the Knicks right now as well. So it ain't all pretty on paper with that situation. Trae Young, defensive liability. Teams are going at him right now. For as good as he's been in the league, if you want to build around Luka, you want to build around Trae Young. You definitely want to build around Luka, in my opinion, with that situation. Trae Young will always be that defensive liability. Jerry says trade Fournier to the Bucks. Giannis loves him. Yeah, I'd engage that. Let's see what we can get. Maybe we could just get a young shooter back. Grayson Allen. Who do you like on the Bucks? Also, Jerry says Indiana lost to the Nets last weekend when the Nets sat their top 8 players. Crazy. Next game is the hardest of the 5. Could lose any of them. Can win them too. Yep. Yeah, no doubt. Confidence is going to be sky high if we beat Chicago for a back-to-back as well. I think we take care of Indy. The Golden State one's going to be touch and go, even without Steph. And then we look at Toronto and we look at Chicago again, um, with this rotation, with the trade buzz swirling. But the Knicks are streaking, no doubt about it. Even if we lose one, we could easily go back on another streak, ladies and gentlemen. So it ain't just about the streaks. Let's just keep this thing rolling, play to our strengths. Right now, Jalen Brunson got things moving. Julius Randle's on a tear. Barrett's improving as well. Quickly, Grimes, McBride, the bench unit, Mitch and Sims holding us down on the block. And Hartenstein is up and down, but we still need him. We still need him for depth. I think Hartenstein can still score around the bucket, but he's a defensive liability at times. But let's see, we need extra bodies with Obi down, right now. So yeah, I'm excited. Can't wait for this stretch to come up. Tomorrow night's going to be lit at Chicago as well. There's going to be all eyes on that situation. The Knicks are going to face a huge test, like Jerry said. To beat a team back to back on their home floor is going to be tough, and that could be the nail in Chicago's coffin for the season. To be honest with you, look at the standings. That's no hyperbole, because how would their front office and their fan base feel to have accumulated that talent that they did, only for the Knicks to come in and beat them twice on their home floor, back to back as well. So we could add salt to the wound for Chicago as well. We're going to be up for it. I hope everyone's healthy with that matchup. Yeah, JT on point. Salute to Randle as well, balling out this season. Yep. The decision making's been key. Obviously hitting shots, but yeah, his ability to command the double team just opens up our offense. I just think we need to utilize that, play to that strength. Brunson's got to do the pick and roll with Randle as well. I think they're tough. They're a tough cover for the other team, because pick and roll with Brunson and Randle. It puts a lot of pressure on those two defenders defending that pick and roll. Randle can post the man up, can mouse in the house. Brunson can take the bigger guy off the dribble as well and break things down. I think the Knicks are definitely building that chemistry, fam, off on the offensive side. Tom Thibodeau's probably been looking at the film, obviously, getting guys in better positions to do that. The kick out's there for Grimes to hit the shot. Even Brunson finds himself in the corner as well for the corner shot as well. And then, yeah, it leaves RJ kind of ready to go take his man to the bucket as well at times. So I think we're Gucci with offense right now. We just need to play smart. That's the thing. Where we get bogged down is when we play stupid ball and we make bad decisions as well. Dudes do need to be checked at times, be kept accountable. Yeah, Jerry, there could be hurt feelings in Chicago. That last play regulation wasn't set up for Levine. Was set up for Levine or DeRozan, maybe, yeah. Also, fam, I thought you were going to say this, but Leon Rose was courtside in Chicago. Talks that Zach Levine, there's a chance that he could be out of there as well. Yeah, all eyes on this rematch. Let's see what happens, Take two of the heavyweight clash. They're going to come at us, but we need to stay in it. We need to defend, and let's see if the home crowd, we can silence it and just put the nail in the coffin for Chicago. If we beat Chicago, we go one game higher than them, of course. It's a 2-game swing. 11, they'll go to 11 and 17. That's going to be a tough climb. Of course, the play-in situation is still there for Chicago, but the Raptors, the Hawks, the Heat, you think they're going to stick around as well? I think the Wizards are done. The Wizards are done for the season, fam, as well. KP was looking nice, but Bradley Beal being out for too long. They're too close to the stacked lottery to be where they're at right now. E says, want to keep building on what we have with Grimes, IQ, Deuce, and set the precedent on the defensive side of things. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Those guys know their role, and they're prepared to do the dirty work that Julius won't do, RJ won't do, Brunson can't do as well. It's about toughness. And boy, is Grimes absolutely tough. You give him daylight and he'll rob you with that situation. You show Grimes any bit of the ball, he'll strip you. Same as IQ, same as Deuce as well. So guys are getting their hands in the passing lane. They're in a great stance, staying in front of their man. Stopping penetration as well, and closeouts. Closeouts is absolutely key for this team, right? If we're going to give the shooters daylight and clog the paint and do the drop coverage, it's key that those guys can get out and cover the shooters quickly as well, and fighting over screens. That's the biggest skill set that I admire from Grimes, McBride, and that. They don't get lazy and go under screens. They try to fight, and they can get an illegal screen called because they fight over the screens. You know, RJ tries to fight at times, but he's big. He's a big body. He's basically like built like a power forward right now. Is RJ? Getting around a screen is tough for him as well. There's barely any daylight. But Deuce, Grimes, they can get skinny and get around the pick as well. I think that's what's troubling some of the other lead guards as well. Um, of course, home cooking. Let's look out for the officiating. Let's keep an eye on that, fam, because they did get the home calls right now, and that wasn't great. So we do need to stay in the game. Julius, don't be yelling at the refs as well. Keep your head in the game. We don't need another ejection. With that said, so I want to stay positive that the Knicks pick this one up as well. We put the nail in Chicago's coffin for the season, right? And we pick up this another win, and we put the heat on Philly right now for 6th seed. So let's get it, baby. Knicks streets, everything's buzzing. Smash that like button, yeah, because we here, and this fun season continues to roll, and we're strapped in, Knicks Nation, having fun chopping this season up. Right now, it's a great stretch. Let's see how it continues right now. But peace, love to the chat. Everyone out here watching replay, gang. Give us your thoughts on the comment section with this stretch coming up, the next 5, right? I'd love to be sitting here talking to you all on a 10-game win streak right now. Things will be popping. Things will be absolutely buzzing. D cool. Salute. What's good? What's good with that? How we feeling? D cool. Yeah, Jerry, salute, peace. Yep, let's get it. We'll catch you on the next one.